All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Summit 7 European qualifying action for today. Day number 2 of our qualifying action here, and looking forward to another great day ahead of us. 2 best-of-3s coming at you on what is the winner bracket portion side of each of the 2 groups here. Again, we got 8 teams in total, 2 groups of 4. This is Group A action. Both of these teams coming off of victories yesterday and looking to see which team will qualify for the playoffs at least. That is for these qualifiers here, just to be clear. And then the loser, of course, still will have a chance, but they'll be knocked down to the loser's bracket. Again, the 2 teams from each group advancing onto the playoff stage, and then one of those 4 teams will then qualify for the actual Summit tournament. We got Empire versus Prodota Gaming here in this best-of-3. I am Breaky CPK, joined by Z-Rock here. How's it going, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I got my morning essentials, got my Red Bull, got my nicotine. We're in good shape. Just to clarify, Liquipedia shows Navi C9 is the second series today. Is that incorrect? Because that would be the loser's bracket game in the B division.
That is incorrect, maybe. Let me double check on my end.
All right, I'll talk about the draft here a little bit while you take a look.
No, you're right, actually. I apologize. You're all right. It is Navi versus Cloud9. So they're actually, okay, I just figured we were doing both winner brackets today. But, you're right. Okay, so Navi versus Cloud9 next. All right, anyways, as you were saying with the draft here.
No, yeah, it's fine. So I want to point out here, Empire, I'm assuming, watched yesterday's games. Clockwork snapped first, man. 3-3 had an amazing series on it. I believe you played it twice yesterday and just went off both games. Extreme, great excellence on the hero. Very well played. The Slaughter ban is interesting, though. We've seen this almost entirely fall out of favor. And it's funny to see them ban it out when they're going to first phase the Lifestealer pick here. We don't see Slaughter picked up that often anymore. It's one of the best delivery vehicles for the Lifestealer. And if you're going to pick the LS in the first round, usually that means that you could have kind of forced the ban out of Prodota in the second phase.
Yeah, that is curious. I mean, Milan, their 4-role player for Prodota, if I'm not mistaken, and he happens to be their captain here after all. We casted Prodota from both the Zodak and then even yesterday, as we talked about. Slardar doesn't really come to mind as like, oh yeah, no, he played a really mean Slardar, so they better ban that hero. So it really is interesting, the fact that, as you mentioned there, banning the Slardar despite even picking up the Lifestealer themselves, but that's what it is. And obviously there's other definitely transports for him by all means, but that is one of the stronger ones, no doubt. So
it's just kind of weird, though, because like I think Slaughter is one of the best, if not the best, pairing for a Warlock. It's like that and Earth Spirit are kind of the 2 big ones that come to mind as just being really great follow-up to the Chaotic Offering, or even like a pre-stun so you can get the bonds off before you drop the rock. And yeah, just a little odd to see that there. We do see the LC banned by Prodota. I strongly agree with this. I think that is the strongest offlaner right now to deliver a Lifestealer. You just blink in, duel someone, Lifestealer pops out, and you 3-shot them and move on with your day.
Yeah.
It's really potent. So that'll be pulled out of the pool. This Batrider we've been seeing coming back into favor a little bit, but it's kind of been a mixed success. We've seen some look pretty nice, but for the majority of them, we're not seeing that lane bully bat like we used to, where it'd 2v1 and just destroy his own off lane consistently.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you there. Yeah, I've been noticing that since the Kiev happened, and even in Kiev itself, I don't think we really saw too much of it, but whatever reason, whether it's just coincidence again or just happens to maybe be another hero that's perhaps making his way back onto the scene, he definitely has been seen over these last 3 or 4 days even. But, you know, is he really that strong pick that we know he can be in the past? Maybe not as there, but Prodota's going to be trying it out at least, and 3-3, the one most likely to be playing it here, and he is officially tagged up Prodota now. He's been standing for a while here, but congrats to 3-3 actually getting tagged up in game. So how does that process work? Why do players take forever to get the tag?
If they were recently in a tag team, there's like a 2-week holding period before you can strip and retag.
Oh.
So if he was in another team or signed up with a friend or something like that, you can't officially just change your tag every day or 2.
Okay.
Now, I want to say I think the Batrider kind of came back in because of the Tranquil's boots change. Once they took Ring of Protection out and made it a Windlace instead, he loses less move speed when Tranquils are broken, and a Batrider getting move speed is kind of how his early game works. If you're ahead of the enemy in move speed, then all of a sudden Firefly becomes this hell to deal with. If you have a couple napalm stacks, you can't ever right-click him, and he's just running circles around you. You can just destroy. I mean, we've seen Batriders 1v3 before.
Yeah.
So I think that's the theory.
I think that's actually a really good point because, yeah, it's one of those cases. There's got to be some reason why a hero like this all of a sudden starts making appearances again, and that makes sense, right? And I love that change personally as a support player myself a lot of the time. And sure, arcane boots are in a lot of the heroes, but on a hero like a Crystal Maiden, she has that aura. She's not necessarily looking to get arcane boots instead of the Tranquil, and just having that extra move speed is so nice for roaming around the map. And as you mentioned, we're a hero like Batrider and Spearbreaker. Speaking of moving around the map, he's good at that too, and going to be the third pick for Prodota.
It was definitely a buff to supports as a whole, but it was a nerf to most offlaners. They're really missing not having the armor tied into Tranquil Boots. It was a nice little survivability buff for them. Empire, though, just going right down the line with what I said. All right, you banned out Slardar, you're grabbing her Spirit. That's your next pickup for the Lifestealer. It's a great combo with the Warlock. It's a really solid pickup here from them. But the offlane pool has been pinched substantially. No Clock, no Slardar, no Magnus, LC, Nyx. Like, so many offlaners gone already that you're starting to dig into the trenches. I mean, there's Puck, maybe, Centaur, maybe. But we're kind of running out of options here.
Centaur? That hero kind of died off a fair amount. Obviously, he kept getting nerfed with his Ags effect even there. But even at, what is it now, 30%? I mean, it's still a pretty strong tool, and just overall the hero's honestly pretty damn good. So I could see that definitely being an option here.
You got to remember, before people even started going Ags, Centaur was a first ban.
Yeah.
Before Ags was even picked up on him. So, all right. So this out of Prodota here, they're grabbing the Invoker. I have said a lot of times I'm a little bit hesitant of doing this when your offlaner's not a right clicker. When he has no scaling potential, I feel like Invoker can really fall flat on his face. It's not the strongest right clicker no matter how far into the game you get. He basically gets a ton of levels, and with that, a ton of utility, but not necessarily the most damage. And BKB becomes incredibly viable against a Batrider Invoker combo then, because you're dealing with a ton of magic damage and not that much physical. And, I mean, Lifestealer has a built-in BKB already with Rage. So I think Prodota is going to be looking for a very hyper carry. The TB ban was good foresight here out of Empire. Probably looking to ban maybe a Spectre would probably be the next one that would come to mind, especially with the global presence already of Spiritbreaker and Sunstrike.
Yeah, he's been seeing more action lately, and as you really mentioned right there, that global presence, if you have that synergy of the Spiritbreaker and the Invoker, then by all means it allows that hero to be that much more useful. So that really could be a strong pick. If I'm Empire here, that probably is the one off the top of my head that perhaps looking to ban. And then there's more the typical. There is more the Juggernaut, of course, is still available on the board, so could be another option.
I'm not sure if Empire's played around with this for a while, but for a long period of time when Batrider was hyper meta, some teams would run 2 carry lineups with their off lane and their safe lane, and they'd throw the Lifestealer solo against Batrider. I mean, it is a thrashing. Lifestealer just handles Batrider.
Yeah.
So we could see something like a Jug being picked up for Empire here. It would give a ton of flexibility to the Earth Spirit, because Lifestealer and Jug, both very effective heroes to gank for. All you gotta do is roll in, beat on somebody a couple times, and the carry finishes them off. But if we're looking more traditional, I mean, yeah, still looking Centaurs, Pucks, Darkseers, still... Oh, no, that was banned out here just now from Prodota.
Night Stalker.
Interesting.
Go the Night Stalker. I've made it very clear over time. This is a hero, and again, maybe overall it's done all right, but just personally in matches that I've casted and watched here, it feels like that he's underwhelming most of the time. So Empire gonna decide for the Night Stalker though, and yeah, as you said, interesting because is that an offlane Night Stalker?
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Usually we see it in the 4 role.
Yep. Before he was a 4, he was an offlane. The one thing I really do like for him here, Crippling Fear, when you're only running 1 carry, is so absurd. Like, that mischance is 50% during nighttime. So if PD only has 1 right clicker here, all you gotta do is throw that Crippling Fear on them, mitigate so much of the damage output, and in reality, you're looking pretty good. So I don't mind the pickup here at all from Empire, provided he actually gets a decent start.
Yeah, that's the key. And he's going to be going up against a Juggernaut, you figure, at the bottom lane as that final pick indeed. So go a little more traditional in the end. And overall, a sound lineup here from Prodota. Now, I guess whenever I see like a Juggernaut and like a Crystal Maiden, the potential for an aggressive trial-in is there. Is that something that Prodota may be looking to do, you think, or are they just going to keep it pretty safe?
I think it's a little too risky. So Lifestealer are already a pretty decent answer to that lane. Can rage out of Frostbite and then takes no damage on spin. So in reality, it's hard to find a kill there, and very easy that if the Earth Spirit gets on the CM for that to go very poorly for you if you're PD. So don't think you look to aggro tri lane. You just want to make sure you push the Night Stalker out, not give him any levels, any experience. Basically, a Night Stalker's whole goal is he wants to be level 3 or 4 by first night at 4 minutes. And then he's either going to use that to jungle heavy, and then by 8 minutes when second night comes around, he's going to do a lot around the map, or he's going to just go gank right away. So if they can keep him off that level 3 or 4 mark by 4 minutes, they'll be in good shape.
Yeah. Yeah, that first Nightfall is just always so important for the Night Stalker, I feel like, in terms of getting that momentum for sure and making some plays. So making that pick very worth it even as that final pick in this case. So there we go.
Yeah, it's actually 12 minutes where second night cycles around. But we did see some Night Stalkers when it was being ran even as a 4, they'd spend the whole first night jungling, using the extra attack speed just to grind out a Midas. Basically, they'd come out of first night with basically a whole Midas done, and then use that to leverage into their Ags, into their gem, and then go from there. So I'm curious to see what Empire does with this here. It's definitely not a common pickup. And scouting the smoke out here, but the smoke was so fast it gave no info on the lane structure, who got what items.
Yeah. Milan just going to get up here on Spirit Breaker quickly and get that ward down here, but the same thing really from Warlock on the other side. So really very, very similar ward spots.
Yeah, I love the 0-minute meta. It's always so interesting to see what teams do.
All the movement here, and in fact, you see Earth Spirit placing his in the middle lane, going to potentially help out some possible Spirit Breaker ganks in that middle, so makes sense. Night Stalker is shaping up at the bottom. He has that double mango build to go with the Stout Shield, so he's not going the whole poor man shield route right here. That's different.
Ooh, if this lane slip is what I think it is, this could get really interesting. If they end up posting this Warlock bottom with the Night Stalker, we've seen dual offlanes a lot with a Warlock. This is going to leave Chappie in the 1v1 against the Batrider. A lane that Lifestealer is only going to struggle for the first 2 levels. After that, it starts swinging heavily in his favor if he's not down too much.
Thanks be to you.
So I like this potential laning setup here from Empire. It could really press an advantage.
Ember Spirit looking to pick up that bounty rune, but yeah, we'll see how the Warlock potential it does down here. He's going to start off with a block here. But it does look like King R shaping up to end up in that bottom lane. As you mentioned, Lifestealer, he fares just fine against Batrider in a solo 1v1 matchup. Batrider did choose to go those boots first here. We sometimes see the Batriders maybe even get that Windlace first and perhaps more regen on top of that, but yeah, he's just going straight up boots first in this case.
Yeah, and Lifestealer with the reaction item pickup right away. Once lanes are scouted, grabs a magic stick with the gold that he was banking. And honestly, this is the best case scenario for Lifestealer. He's going to get the first entire wave for free because Bat's scared there's a trial lane up here.
Yeah. The Spirits, meanwhile, in the middle lane. Her Spirit going to roll on in on a Kaiser and start applying those auto attacks with that Orb of Venom, so let the harassment begin. Open up some farm for the Ember Spirit, but they're going to realize that Warlock is down here now. Malak is that nice first hit bash coming out on a Gostic, and that's going to allow Guard to kind of run on up. He doesn't have an ability currently sitting on that point here, whatever makes the most sense, but...
Yeah. The one thing to watch here is going to be 2 minutes in and see if Earth Spirit rotates to the bottom Radiant Rune, or their bounty rune, because CM might be going for it right at 2 minutes, and if she does, it's an easy place for them to go ahead and find a pick.
Yeah.
Going heavy on Kaiser here, though, in the mid lane.
Wow, yeah, they're going really deep. That Orb of Venom. Sunstrike's going to be coming out. It hits Miposhka, and actually that tower damage gets him pretty low, but not enough for the kill. Kaiser just simply still trying to live, though. And now here comes Spear Breaker to assist. In fact, Miposhka on that Earth Spirit, now in the one in trouble. As the Cold Snap's coming out, charge on Milan as he hits level 2, and there is the first blood in favor of the Invoker. So it was a risk to dive that much. I mean, they got close, but close doesn't count for the kill.
Yeah, Earth Spirit maybe had that first blood, too. He hesitated when he saw the Spirit Breaker TP and didn't roll in right on cooldown. But going straight on the Batrider top. Good TP out from 3-3, though.
Oof. Yeah. If he does that a half a second later, he's dead, actually. So.
Oh, yeah.
Very good reaction. TP right away. And yeah, Earth Spirit's still level 1, so no Boulder Smash. 2 assists right there for that kill. So, yeah, now he's at the top lane, though, and this means Night Stalker is going to be by himself. All of a sudden, have to spot him, and, you know, good luck having any decent time down here. In fact, Spirit Breaker is running back in and going to take the Void.
Stop.
But yeah, good timing there from the Night Stalker. But actually, who's roaming down here? That would be Warlock. Coming back down.
Yeah, they really just want to make sure this Night Stalker has something going into first night. And it kind of ruined the whole setup. I really do think they were going to go with what I was saying at the 2-minute mark, rotate Earth Spirit bot, try to grab a support in the jungle. But that all went to hell as soon as the kind of the disaster in mid lane happened.
Yeah. Because what was Invoker, you know, falling behind here, good boxing out by the Earth Spirit, and now all of a sudden with that first blood, he's jumped right on up there and going to keep up with the Ember Spirit, if anything. And we know Invoker, fairly weak earlier on. Well, he's trying to level up set abilities, but now he has that extra level 2, and that last hitting going to be that much more powerful. So passing up the Wex for the time being here.
Yeah, and that's just Alacrity costs too much mana now at level 1. It used to be a lot cheaper, so you could just get a quick point in Wex, spam Alacrity, get a good CS lead.
Bottom lane, Spirit Breaker is still setting up. He's level 3 now, man. He's actually managed to get some decent levels down here. I guess he's been roaming quite a bit, to be fair. Of course, assisted in that middle kill. As Batrider top lane, he's just doing the jungle thing. He's stacking even a little bit, perhaps, and he's already got Tranquil Boots, another 300-plus gold saved up on top of that. So, obviously, it means Lifestealers have an absolute free farm, but, I mean, that was going to happen anyway, so might as well get your own.
Yeah, no, definitely the situation you want if you're 3-3. You're avoiding the bad matchup right now.
Nice Stalker on top of these Voids, but the Sunstrike will connect this time, and out comes a spin, and that is an easy kill on Night Stalker at that point. Nothing he can do to get away, and they did that right before nighttime, too, by the way. Hits right here.
Yeah, so that is going to mean he's level 3 going into first night here. He's got his boots. This is the danger point. This is when he could look to make a play.
Going to make him plays. Earth Spirit gets caught here at the top lane. Get the Spirit Breaker and the Batrider, and now they're going for Warlock. Napalm's coming out. FN is nearby, though, and it's going to be scary enough to keep them off from committing for that kill on a Warlock. But, yeah, it's almost a blessing in disguise, even, for the Night Stalker, I feel like. The fact that he died right there right before the Nightfall, it's like, all right, you know what? He has a TP now. The boots you mentioned, he's got full life, full mana as a result of that. Let's go ahead and make some plays. And, hell, did he just get the Arcane Rune? Yeah, he did. On top of that.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything with it yet. He was hoping to find CM jungling a camp, but, alas, not going to be able to do that. And unless he gets an assist on mid here or something, really low impact for the first little bit in nighttime here.
Crystal's like, yeah, you ain't got no stopper. It's going to simply pour
early
down.
game TP's so good.
Yep.
FN, it's interesting to look at this here. In mid lane, he is so scared of getting charged by Spirit Breaker, he took a point in Slight. He can slight the Spirit Breaker right as the charge comes in. You hear, we're going to see him try it now.
Go.
Basically stops the charge.
Right on cue. So, yeah,
and it's just unfortunate if you have to do that as Ember, because it really negates your all-in potential. Every point in Searing Chains and every point in Flame Guard just so essential for you.
Yeah.
So to be set back an entire level on that, it really hurts.
Speaking of Rome, we got Crystal Maiden and Spirit Breaker heading towards the bottom lane with that smoke up, putting some vision down themselves.
And they were smoked going over that ward too, so they didn't get seen at all by the ward. This is gonna... Night Stalker thinks he's safe because that ward is there.
Whoa.
He should be caught.
That was Ember Spirit trying to neutrals, meanwhile, up there. I think he got harassed, but back to the bottom lane. Night Stalker is going to get caught indeed, and an easy kill for Kaiser as he lands a Sunstrike. But I'm trying to figure out what the hell happened up there. I don't know if that was a miscue or if, I couldn't tell on the mini-map if actually anyone was nearby.
I didn't see anyone nearby. I think he just misplayed. He was trying to kill off the hard camp and
got too
maybe
cocky.
missed the Searing Chains.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I've been in that situation myself. I know everyone really has, where it's like you're killing off a jungle. You're like, oh man, it's so little life, but so are you, and you try to make a play on it, and then all of a sudden neutral creep has killed whoever, and it's just like, yeah, that just happened. So
Can't say I've ever had that happen.
oh no, you're that 9K
never at
plus
all.
player, 10K
Yep,
plus
yep.
even up there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Got the skills.
Just like all of Twitch chat.
No mistakes. Yeah, that is unfortunate, though. Again, we don't know 100% if that's what happened, but it's from what I could tell looking at the mini-map right after, it didn't seem like anyone was nearby. So.
And Sunstrike was still off cooldown, too, because he used the bottom on the Night Stalker, so it wasn't any extra damage there or anything like that. So, I mean, the real question is going to be, can Chappie do something here? He got his level 6 up, Ember's level 6 as well. That is a decent delivery method to get you in a fight, but FN's had to play so far in the back foot. It's going to be hard for Empire to find some traction, and they may end up having to wait until the Chaotic Offering is up, and Warlock's only level 3. That's a long ways away.
Talked about Night Stalker getting a couple of mangoes right off the bat. To me, it feels a little odd, the fact we see still he has both the mangoes at 7.5 minutes in now. Is that something you don't want to have happen, or is it still going to be useful as the game picks up here, you think, the fact that he
It'll be useful for a while. FN almost died to the neutrals again. But no, they'll still be useful. It's HP regen, which is very nice. It's half of a ring of health, basically. Just have those 2 mangoes. So it helps get you through the early game, and then he was hoping to use them in first night, right? You're running people down, you're just spamming Void, you need the mangoes. So not a huge loss that he didn't use them. He probably would have liked to, but not the end of the world by any means.
Chappie going at it with 3-3. 3-3 was trying to steal some of the jungle. I think he might have, but it might come at a cost if he's not careful right here. Oh, no, he's going to lasso him in. He's going to put him on the cliff, and that's not really much of a cliff, though. In fact, that's still a way to get to him. Going to infest the creep real quickly, healing up of sorts, but now Crystal Maiden also here. The Sunstrike, it is going to land just on Chappie, and all of a sudden he starts dropping pretty quickly. And he's going to pick up on that, and we'll decide to fall back. Charge in onto Earth Spirit now. Has a barrel roll. Don't think he's going to be able to get the angle, though. Good positioning by Spirit Breaker. Oh, he will get the angle. Now here comes the Omni Slash, though. And actually, they get the kill on a Chappie in the end. And Earth Spirit's going to be the one to live, maybe? Yes, he was.
What the hell was Miposhka doing in that? He rolled in without putting a boulder at his feet. He had 5 boulders queued up, and then he just didn't boulder smash that entire time. Like, I'm so lost. Did his keyboard break for a minute?
That Q button of his.
That was just weird. Like, everything there was weird. But a good rotation from the Juggernaut. I've said many, many times, get level 6, find an Omni Slash kill, did just that. And very big kill, too, getting it on the Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Opted for a Midas.
I do apologize, guys. My mic in-game was muted right there, but it should be good now. So, for those that are tuning in game, hello. All right, so you mentioned the Midas. Wait, who got the Midas? Yeah, it was Lifestealer. Okay. Yeah, you're always happy to see that. You're always joyful and agree with it 100%.
It's great, especially when you then go early game items like Armlet and Echo Saber. It's perfect. But no, I mean, we've seen a lot of people go it. Lifestealer, thankfully, it had mostly faded off. Still a few people to do it, and at this point, I guess maybe his thought process is the rest of my team is so far behind, I'm not ready to go yet because they're not. So we're just going to get a Midas, farm up a little more while they get ready. We are approaching the 10-minute mark. Warlock managed to squeeze out a level and a half in the last 2 minutes, so the book will put him at like 5.5, pretty close to Chaotic Offering. So it could look to see that online around the 11 to 11.5 minute mark.
Yeah. Such an important tool for any team with the Warlock here. Double damage, top rune.
3-3 is spending so much time trying to kill these Ancients. There's nothing else to take for him in the jungle, so he just said, I can't go to lane, I'm going to kill this dragon.
Uh-oh. Man, it might be taking too long. They're setting up. Knight has fallen, and 3-3 is like, I want this kill, though! Boulder smash on through. It does connect. The barrel's going to miss, but it won't matter. Can he pop the shrine? He tried to get to it, but the Searing Chain's coming into play. But here comes the TP support now. Carter, he's chasing. Omni Slash is going to be up in a couple of seconds. That's a dead Night Stalker, no doubt. Just a matter of how long. It's been on top. No Omni Slash needed. Now we see FN, but that Omni Slash is going to be all on top of the Ember Spirit. He is going to have to remnant out, and will survive. Crystal Maiden is picked off, though, by the Warlock. But now King R, he could be in trouble himself. No mana on Carter left, but the stun from Milan, and there's a Sunstrike to assist on top of that charge stun there. So Miposhka, just run away, and there's that boulder now going through.
Lots of cute mechanics there. The Warlock, if he had turned back around to try to finish the Batrider or CM, whoever he killed off, with an auto attack directly on them, would have died a lot faster. Instead, just hit somebody with Fatal Bonds. I mean, really heads up play that this is going to do enough damage. We'll just pop this auto into them and keep moving. The Ember dodge on the Omni to not die was pretty solid there as well. So, I mean, nicely played from both sides. Coming out fairly even. In the end, I think you're a little happier if you're Empire doing that, though. You didn't rotate the Lifestealer in, and still came out even.
That's true. And, he's making use of the Hand of Midas. Every cooldown here, he's got that armlet now queued up and just about finished here as a result of being able to sit at the top lane and continue to farm throughout all that, so that's going to be coming up, and obviously you can start jumping inside the perhaps the Night Stalker, the Earth Spirit, or even that Ember Spirit in cases throughout this game. Right now, though, middle lane.
it's probably still Ember for a little while, just because you can slight and then pop out during the slight, so Ember doesn't have to put himself in danger to get Lifestealer in. And then you can follow it up with a Chaotic Offering, you've got your nice little team fight behind it, and a lot of this game, honestly, is going to end up on the Night Stalker and hitting a crucial silence on somebody important, either the Bat Rider pre-lasso or the Invoker at any point.
Here's that second Nightfall. Chappie, they're going to find actually the Spirit Breaker right here. It jumped inside Ember Spirit with the Infest Bomb, obviously. And all the Healing Ward doing work, but not enough. And now Garter, he has to keep his distance. No Omni Slash just yet. 20 more second cooldown. You know, Blade of Fury away. And oh, he gets caught by Maposhka, though. So he's making out from earlier with a nice bonus smash right there. The Chaotic Offering comes down as well. And now Garter finding himself in trouble. He will end up falling the upheaval, helping to slow him down, as well as the Bat Rider. Bat Rider Firefly is going to be enough as he eventually Blink Daggers away somehow. They do get the turn kill on Ember Spirit, actually, due to the Sunstrike. So, nice finish there for Prodota, and they want more, damn it. Crystal Maiden going to go in. He regrets that immediately. He gets taken out. That's, oh, wow. And there we go. The BM is real.
Ooh, Admin's going to be rude or not?
Oh, that's funny. Spirit Breaker charging on through. He still wants to make chaos happen, but we saw what happened to Crystal Maiden when she chose to go in like she did. So, got to be careful about overcommitting right here, but Maposhka is going to get caught. And that should be a secure kill on him. Say GG in chat, please do it. Say good game. Oh, that was his chance to respond.
Yeah. There is zero excuse for a pro player having that on their chat wheel in a game. It's just not a thing. But yeah, whatever. It happens. Chaotic fight. Back and forth on both sides. And in reality, not really a huge winner here unless PD can manage to swing a tower out of this. They're going to put a ton of pressure on the spot lane tower, so I would not be surprised to see it go down. Yeah. Good smoke here off on the side just to cover Garter hitting this.
Yeah, no defense being put up whatsoever, and as you mentioned, the smoke. They tried to defend right here, they might get caught doing so. So maybe it's a special for them if they're not, but didn't we see this? Was it yesterday? Crystal Maiden again going no Crystal Nova here earlier on in the game. I don't know if that might have been the first series that you were casting with me, but we saw yesterday somebody doing it.
Yeah, it wasn't any of them I was in.
You know what? Now, was it Prodota? Yes, it might have been Prodota actually yesterday, now I think about it. Might have been the same player, so maybe it is just kind of a player preference here.
Well, in this kind of a game, any time you can extend the route, it makes it so Ember has a more difficult time getting out. So probably the main reason for that in this game. Look at where Ember is. He's got Lifestealer inside of him between the two towers. FN wants someone so bad right now.
Never refuse.
That's the idea. They do have bots here on Ember Spirit, but he's hunting at the top lane. I don't know if he's going to find anyone, though. Obviously, as we see on the minimap, not going to be the case, so Lifestealer says he's tired of sitting in there. Going to pop out and start doing his own thing now. But Prodota on the other side of the map, as you can see. The Ag's being worked on an Invoker, and it is just about finished now. He's been making great use of that Hand of Midas, and he's up there with the Lifestealer, actually. So this is a very successful Invoker.
This is a disgusting farm speed on the Invoker. And on the Night Stalker, honestly. If you look at NS, his Midas is done. Bat Rider is ahead of him, yes, but Bat Rider farms so much better.
That's going to help Bat Rider, too. A lasso initiation onto Earth Spirit, and easy catch there. We've seen the Blink Dagger on him for a while now. Now he has a 4-staff queued up. Some key items to be had there.
Yeah. So they're at the point they want to be a 4-man unit. They want to roam around and let Garter just rice farm, get to 3-4 items. At the very least, get to Manta Diffusal Blink. That's kind of the 3-item core lately we've seen as the flavor of the month on Jug. Ooh, is Chappie going to get this before he gets gone on?
He wants it. He wants it. He has a rage. He's going to need to use that. No, he infests actually at the last second right as they're charging in. Infests their own creep, so... Yeah.
Oh, he's in the front creep?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's in the back one.
This is so awkward, though. Is he, though? I don't know.
No one's rotating for him. What? Okay.
Yeah, no support's coming in, and, well, that's a DC.
Ooh, is he going to get bashed out of the Sunstrike? I mean, he's dead either way.
Yeah. That's true.
He's still moving from the bash.
It looks like, unless, it depends on what direction he goes here. Because
he's going top left. So, I mean, he's right at the edge already. He's going to go a little further. It's going to be close. Garter has Omni Slash, though, so there's no way he gets out either way.
It's just a matter if he commits to using that or not, yeah. Warlock is coming, but...
Jug's attack speed is slow enough. If he can get some distance, could Armlet toggle between Omni Slashes?
Oh, God.
It's hard, but it's possible. Because look, with the armlet on, he has 15 armor. That's a ton this early in the game. And Jug's basically going to be doing 250 a tick every half second or so, quarter second to half second. I mean, it's not going to happen. This is all hope and pray type stuff.
Yeah.
But it would be cool.
It would be.
I don't know why Night Soccer's still going. This is way too late.
Yeah, I mean, they're heading over now, but I think, if anything, this pause is going to let them reassess that, you know what, he's dead. Let's just not risk it and fall back. You mentioned Night Stalker. Speaking of him, though, the Hannah minus onto him. He has the urn queued up here now as well, but seems like, yeah, he's doing all right with this farm.
Yeah, I'd like to see him not grab the urn. Let Earth Spirit get it. It's cheap. Earth Spirit can build it up in small increments, and you can just go straight Ags. You need to get the Ags gem up online. That's crucial in controlling vision. Seeing Bat Rider coming at you, you start seeing Spirit Breaker from a distance that you can actually stop. So that'd be what I'd like to see, rather than taking essentially a whole piece of Ags to go and earn.
Yeah, I was actually confirming here while we're in this pause that, by the way, how do you say Crystal Maiden's name? Is it, I've never really, because I know it's like supposed to be, wait, what?
I'm just being cheeky.
I feel like it's supposed to be Jamia? Jamia? Because is it supposed to be lead speak? Is that what we're doing here?
Sure.
James? I almost just want to say James, even though that doesn't really make sense. Anyways, whoever that is.
J4M34. Let's do that. We'll just spell it all the way out.
That's so bad, though.
It rolls off the tongue so nicely.
So easily. Yeah, no, but again, I was checking yesterday games, and it was Prodota actually in the first series against Mouse Sports. Their game 2, actually. Yeah, he did the same thing there. He actually didn't get the Crystal Nova, until level 8, even. So.
Was there an Ember against them?
There was not an Ember.
Or a Blink Hero,
it was
or
a Puck, Slark.
Okay,
Or Shaker.
Wow, I should know this mechanic. I'm fairly certain Puck can't jaunt to an orb. He can cast it, and he can phase shift.
I think he can. No, because I'm pretty sure I've seen like Roots hat with like Overgrowth where he actually still ports with the orb. I think. So one of us is going to be called out by Twitch chat right here. Let's see.
Yeah.
5 minutes from now, we'll find out who's wrong, who's right.
And Yellow, the CM's name is, I mean, it's just J4 on the competitive wiki. Okay. So you could always just call him J4.
Chappie, guess what? He's dead. No Omni-Slash needed. So yeah, they did turn around. It was a lost cause right there. As far as the support coming in, let it be. And this will be a top tower push now, as all 5 are really up here, actually, for Prodota. So yeah, they're going to evade on the other side. Trying to push middle lane.
Okay, I had it backwards. You can't phase shift while you're rooted. That's what it is.
Okay.
I know the phase shift change, or the root interaction change, is fairly recent. TI-ish last year. I think it was the post-patch. So still a lot of new interactions there. But yeah, can't phase shift, which means he's a lot more vulnerable during the root.
Well, as the analyst on the broadcast, you should know every single mechanic in every single situation and how it's supposed to work. So
some parts of adulting are admitting when you're wrong and then looking it up.
Guys, I'm looking for a new analyst for next game here.
Ouch. Ouch. All right, one thing I do want to point out, because I've seen this all 3 games now that we've seen Empire. Whether they win or lose, Miposhka is always the sacrificial lamb. At times it can look brilliant. He can bait into good fights. He can set up good one-for-ones. And at times it just looks like he's getting caught a lot. And, I mean, the guy's 8K solo MMR. He's playing the roaming role. I'm not sure whether to call this guy a genius or you know, just maybe needs to tighten his play up a little bit.
Well, they're going to need that solid play from him moving forward right here, because right now it's a lead here for Prodota, about a 2,000 net worth lead overall. A nice chart at the top here, but the overall chart, you see, it's always been in Prodota's favor. Again, you look at the Invoker especially, has been a big part of that, but hell, Juggernaut now, Manta Style's finished onto him, so he also is up there.
He's accelerating so fast.
Well, they're moving bottom lane. I don't think they're going to get Everspirit, though.
This will be an eye on the mid tower. Pretty useful for Empire and just cutting some of this gold bleed away. Nice. Can't quite dodge.
Another strike, but no Sunstrike to hit.
That was a fun little mind game between Milan and FN there. Basically, Milan knew he was going to select the charge, so stops the charge early and just straight nether strikes. Guarantees the connection on it, and The Sunstrike might have been... it wouldn't have been enough damage, but it would have been fairly close.
Yeah. Spirit Breaker falls back, and he has an urn now, by the way, too. So speaking of just roaming hero like the Night Stalker, he's doing very well. He doesn't have that Midas, but overall they could be pleased with his success this game and how he's been doing.
Definitely.
Nightfall
and going forward, this is going to be interesting because, as I said, Lifestealer is a pretty good counter to most of this PD lineup. Milan is not holding his charge, right? That would be insane. Okay. So in reality, Empire just needs to calm down, slow the game down. You've got a Midas on your Night Stalker, which is huge. You've got a Midas on your Lifestealer, which, while I dislike it, you do get extra gold from it eventually. So just take the pace a little slower. Only take good fights with Chaotic. If one person dies, please let them die. Like, you're a Dota, we've seen so many struggles with Save Your Teammate syndrome. And Empire's not in that bad of a spot. A 2K lead at 20 minutes is not the end of the world. And I'm liking what they're doing here so far. Everyone's just kind of taking safer farm and making sure they don't die.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly. This is definitely not an out-of-control game. This is, by all means, anyone's game. Any fight victory coming up will sway one team or the other. And, hell, you got a Warlock Golem as one of the bigger strong fight abilities, team fight abilities, that is, in the game even. So I think they still are very satisfied with where they're at. Like you said, the idea of them getting their farms in their cores, playing it safe with the Lifestealer as well as the Ember Spirit, and makes a lot of sense here. Lifestealer is currently inside Earth Spirit here. With that said, so looking for an opportunity. Trying to jump somebody perhaps at the top lane. But again, on the other side, Prodota, they're also evading when it feels like it's perhaps a scary situation, and get more farm on the Invoker as well as the Juggernaut. So both sides are pretty content, it seems like, on just simply getting farms on their cores for the time being.
Yeah, it's kind of the race to that 3-item mark. Once Jug hits his Manta Diffusal, probably going to wait for his Blink 2 unless something comes up. Then they go. Once Lifestealer gets to this Deso, they're kind of ready to fight, roughly. You may want to finish up one more item. The Basher is a good start. But both teams just waiting for that go button, kind of trying to get to where they feel comfortable with their power spike. And look how deep 3-3 is here.
Where is he? He's up here. Yeah, he is really deep. I don't know he's over here, I assume, but he's obviously has the teammates coming in, and he's just waiting patiently to see if somebody shows.
Yeah, he's throwing napalms down in the trees around him to make sure no one else is sitting there with him. And this is so tense.
Something's going to break out soon. You figure Night Stalker, I mean, obviously it's nighttime, so feeling pretty comfortable about going in, but Battle Rider, he's going to find a target. He finds the last target actually on a wall. That's a big grab, thinking of the kill before the Chaotic Offering. The Sunstrike will finish the job, but it's still not over just yet. Crystal Maiden gets picked off. In return, Alacrity applied to the Juggernaut right here. A Battle Rider's going to go down. That Magnetite's doing a lot of work. Here comes the Omni Slash, though, with the burn for the Meteor. What a combo right there. Lifestealer will end up falling. Ember Spirit gets picked off. It was seeming like Empire ahead in the fight. All of a sudden, the combo of Invoker and Juggernaut comes through, and they melt the team.
Kaiser saved that fight so hard there. Did so much damage to 4 people on Empire and just thrashed the Lifestealer. I mean, that was amazing.
Wow.
That fight looked very, very bad for Empire to start off. The Warlock didn't get Chaotic Offering down. Omni wasn't committed for it. Like, no huge ults other than Batrider last time were committed for that.
Yeah.
And then the Ember just came out with a ton of burst damage. Hit a Maelstrom proc and a full... I mean, he all in on the Fire Remnants. He said, we're in on this fight through all 3 and just went.
The Meteor of Invoker, I feel like we never really get to see it do a lot of damage because obviously the idea that you just run away from it and, you know, he's ideally doesn't do much to you, but kind of saw right there. If they're caught up in the Meteor radius, and in that case you were for a fair amount of it, I mean, the burn damage is so much. And,
yeah, the key to it lies in Deafening Blast. Deafening Blast pushes you back, and there's a flat duration you're getting knocked back from it. So if you're caught in the Deafening and he had already cast a Meteor where it's going, then you're kind of just stuck in about half the Meteor duration, and that's where all that damage came from. If he can Meteor first and then Deafening Blast into like 3, it's devastating.
So yeah, Kaiser coming through big time, and he's continued to do throughout this game, so that Invoker pick definitely paying off dividends. And Invoker, he's almost level 18 as well, so we do got BK. I don't know why I said that. I guess it doesn't really matter as much on Invoker, but
yeah, man, he's gonna get that level 3 ult. You used to have to level Invoke. That was a thing at one point.
Yeah, not so much anymore. Juggernaut, he's almost level 18, and that will actually be an upgrade.
Oh yeah, that'll be
Omni
huge.
Slash there. God, he almost has a blink now to go with the nice damage synergy here of the Diffusal and the Manta style.
Yeah, Chappie got a lot of that too, though. The Bashers picked up on basically par with the blinks, so both cores staying very close in net worth, within 1,000 gold of each other. And it's going to be a slugfest. Whatever team gets, I don't want to say the better initiation, because we saw how last fight goes when one team gets a good initiation, but the cleaner team fight is going to end up taking these. And it all comes down to either like a 3-man rock or a 3-man deafening like we saw last fight. These team fights are going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's for me. It simply is just that chaotic off rate. If he's able to get that off, then yeah, Empire should ideally be winning a fight. Pending it's a decent placement here, but
so Empire has a great timing window. 3 minutes till night. Your Night Stalker just finishes Zags. 3 minutes should be enough to get 900 gold. You get your gem, and then you spend the next night just sweeping for wards. You're going to go smoke. You're going to go run around the map as 5 in a big circle and just see what you see. And if you find a good fight, you take it.
Yeah.
So I want to see them not take a fight until that nighttime does roll around and that gem is online.
Hunting in the jungle right here. You got the Ags just finished on Night Stalker, so that's a key item pickup for Empire over here. As far as controlling that vision, once they're reducing it. Middle lane. Oh, they're going to get the Ember with the lasso. The follow-up. Garter jumped in. He kind of pulled him away a little bit, but it won't matter. The Sunstrike easily lands, keeps him in place, gets that kill, but now Invoker's jumped in the back lines. They are still going indeed. They got the chaotic offering. This time it does land pretty well. The Magnetize, Omni Slash bouncing around, though, gets a kill on her. Spirit takes out Warlock. The chaotic offering now trying to run down Garter. He lost his teammate Invoker and the Spirit Breaker, but he's going to be able to Blink Dagger, actually, away before they chase him down. But numbers is in favor of Prodota.
Yeah, so the fight itself was a 2 for 2, but you did have to commit chaotic offering for it, which is a huge cooldown. But they want CM. This is gonna make it an even fight at least.
Oh, if they can get her. Nice force staff.
Night Stalker's gonna go zoom.
Oh, Garter's going back in. He has a healing ward down, and all of a sudden Chappie, the one, needs to be careful here. Night Stalker is going to be frozen in place, locked down by that Crystal Maiden, just kind of kiting, toying with him. Chappie is going to be cut down by Garter in the long run. So the choice to commit for the kill on a Crystal Maiden ends up biting them in the butt big time. And not going to be a Roshan kill, but obviously a victory for Prodota in the end of the fight.
So either that was the fastest Manta to Manta off Crippling Fear that I've ever seen, or Night Stalker just didn't cast it.
I couldn't tell you.
I want to say it was a Manta off. That would be my guess, because the Manta was on cooldown right as the point that started. But it is going to be a rush. Healing Ward is going to heal Garter back up entirely, make this rush perfectly clean. I think they're giving it to Invoker, judging by the item slots here. I think that's a fine choice. He's doing so much work for you in this game right now.
They're not actually leaving early, but they had the kill, so not really a big deal. He wanted to farm up the middle lane, and Invoker sure does pick up the Aegis as expected right there. So,
and Invoker took the bonus Forge Spirit. Something we see very, very few Invokers do anymore.
Yeah, you should go the experience.
Usually. Right when the patch came out, everyone said, well, you have to have 2 Forge Spirits to play Invoker. And then everyone kind of realized by the time 15 rolls around, 2 Forge Spirits isn't as big of a deal as it used to be. The whole point was you'd rush to 2 Forge Spirits, you'd Cold Snap with 2 Forges, and then just Sunstrike for kills. But in reality, hitting level 25 has become so crucial, especially on Invoker, because this 25 talents are nuts. But yeah, he must just still want to play the more comfortable classic Invoker, what he's used to here. Maybe feeling like an extra Forge Spirit might make Chaotic or Fatal Bonds a little less effective, adding another kind of junk unit in the team fight.
He's got the 2 right here, going to send them out, push out the bottom lane, but a wraparound from Empire. Night Stalker does have that gem now as well, so vision, as expected, is somewhat lacking here on Prodota's side. They do have way up here in the dire jungle, but other than that, they're pretty dark on the map for the time being.
Yeah, and if they didn't want to use Chaotic Offering right now, they would probably be sweeping the rest of their map, but they know they want to take this fight. The Sun S is showing so much vision here.
Looking to have a jump. Somebody got lassoed. That would be the Ember Spirit going to get lassoed, but Invoker's going to be jumped to the backlash. Can they kill him quickly? It looks like it. The Aegis is going to be popped. Chaotic offering to lock in as well. Juggernaut's dropping low. He does not have an Aegis. He is going to end up falling. No buyback to be had. Invoker pops a BKB as he comes back up. Tornado's not going to connect to Lifestealer, and this is a 5 victory so far for Empire. Will it stay that way is the question. He goes to walk away from Invoker. Boulder Smash connects on the Crystal Maiden, and here going to follow up on him in the backlands. Kigar trying to deal with a Bat Rider, puts the Shadow Word on him, preventing him from actually using the blink, if anything, and he's going to fly way back to base. So a double kill for Chappie and a 3-0 in favor. Hell, 4-0 if you count the Aegis kill for Empire. Great jump in the
this is how I want to see Warlock played. Yeah, I mean, you're using someone as bait, whether he's FN's meaning to or not, and then you're just dropping a rock on top of everyone when they're going on them. The rock barely saved FN there, able to get a slight new and ult out.
And they say, Bat Rider, we came for you again. I'm going to take you out in the end. So he goes down 2, and now it's just Invoker. Juggernaut's not up for another 20 seconds. Just look at the shift of momentum here for Empire all of a sudden. That's why I said, you know, it's going to take a Warlock really ultimate, and sure enough, they got it there.
Yeah, that was insane.
There's a pushback, but the Rage is popped, and Lifestealer, he's not going to care about the burn right there. Spear Breaker trying to hold from getting the melee racked, but have to be careful with that. Chappie is getting low, though. He doesn't have an Aegis. Going to be able to armlet toggle, though, and should survive through it in the end.
Yeah, can he toggle the urn charge, though?
Oh, good point.
Okay,
oh, he's got. Wow. That's not good. Get away out of this. Rage, toggle, jump. He's good. Oof,
very well played from him there. They would have been okay losing Lifestealer if they had to there. That's a very early melee racks given the pace that games have been going lately. And probably would have been fine if Lifestealer did end up dying. But able to keep him alive, and that's a huge pickup for Empire.
December Spirit now even has a Lincoln Sphere, so they've been jumping him, as you said, whether it's been intended or not. It's going to be a lot tougher now for the Bat Rider. He does have a Force Staff.
Yeah, I was going to point that out. That's a lot more brawly build on FN than we see on a lot of Embers. Most will go bots into Blink, and then maybe double back for a Maelstrom into some more other damagey items. He just said, screw the Blink. I don't want the repositioning. I just want to fight.
Set up here for Prodota. Waiting for a chance, perhaps somebody to come into the middle lane. Crystal Maiden, just like, yeah, it's just me, totally, by myself.
And Empire won that fight when PD had the Aegis. Like, that can't be understated.
True.
They burned through Invoker twice.
Well, they didn't kill him a second time. Did they?
Who did they kill on the base? Oh, it was Bat Rider
yeah.
that got caught in base.
So they just got the Aegis initially, but still, yeah, no, they dominated that fight. And obviously take out the melee racks in the end down here. So it's, in fact, the graph, yeah, just checking it now. You just see the swing all of a sudden. It was the biggest lead so far for Prodota. Good maybe 5 minutes ago or so, and then all of a sudden dips into Empire's favor now, and nearly a 4,000 net worth themselves.
It's like the Price is Right when they're playing the mountain climber game, and then he just falls off the end and just...
You think people tuning in are going to get that reference, man? You just showed our
Now you're going to make me feel old. That show's still on. I think that game is still on.
It's still on.
In fact, it's 10 o'clock. It's on right now.
Yeah. What?
Price is Right.
Oh, jeez. Who watches TV like that nowadays?
I know, right?
I mean,
it's summer. This is when the kids start watching TV, and it's soap operas or Price is Right at this time frame.
Yeah,
so.
Totally. Because Twitch isn't a thing or something.
I know, right? All right, so Darkness is popped. I think this is mostly a ward sweeping Darkness. They've got Night coming up here anyway, so just want to get total control of this map, and this is the point Empire can start squeezing PD out. This is why you get Gem on Night Stalker. If there's no vision on PD, the only way they're supposed to be able to get out of base is with the smoke. And so you just restrict them out, you farm until this lead is 10, 20k. Pick and poke and prod until you hit a 5-man rock. And in a perfect world, it's a pretty straightforward closeout from here.
But it's in a perfect world. Definitely issues can arise, and Prodota looking to capitalize on one of those. Trying to jump right here. Carter's going YOLO. Big time man mode. He's going to Omni Slash all the way through. Spin on top. Sunstrike's going to miss, but he will get the kill on a Warlock. And the lasso catches Night Stalker as well. So they're going to get a couple kills out of this. That man mode from Carter.
How out of Omni Slashing into 5 heroes do you kill the Warlock?
Yeah.
What the hell was that? I mean, Lifestealer got way too scared there. He jumped him in Poshko and he's still at 90% health. Like, eat some Omni hits, dude. You have 3,000 health. But That's really unfortunate for Empire here. There's no buyback on the Warlock. It's only 20 seconds, but that's a tier 2 and 2 kills.
Possibly a second tier 2 tower. Yeah, they're not going to go top, so.
But you'll get the jungle out of it too. That's an extra 300-400 gold.
Take away the resources. Closer now to the Eye of Scotty here for Juggernaut as well. You got Invoker. He finishes Shivas and actually has the Octarine Core now queued up to top it all off. So, yeah, it does allow for these next tier items to be picked up as a result of all this.
Garter definitely wins the biggest balls award of this game because, I mean, that was borderline insane. If the Omni Slash had stuck to Earth Spirit while Earth Spirit rolled, then Garter could have been like pinned up in like the shrine or something for the Dire side, just all on his own with no help. That was insanely brave, and it paid off huge.
Yeah. It's one of those things, obviously, as we saw it, we ended up working out. But no, I'm with you that could have just as easily gone the other way. We could have been sitting here, like, scratching our head going, what was he thinking going in so yellow? But it pays off and kind of closes the gap. In fact, it makes it nearly even once again, at least according to the net worth charted. But they still have the lead on the Empire side in the sense of the barrack skill at the bottom lane, of course. So, still overall
and so right now, they kind of have an idea what they want to do here. They want to push out bottom lane, get the pressure on the bot lane, and then start getting Roche Vision again. Make sure no new wards were set up by PD, get one up of your own, and just kind of prep for this next Roshan. They know it's going to potentially spawn within the next 10 seconds.
Earth Spirit. This is a very ambitious Earth Spirit down here at the bottom lane. He's going to barely get out.
He's fine. Calculated or something.
He's got a Blink Dagger. Almost a 4 staff to go with it. Would be my guess here, at least, with that Staff of Wizardry. Let's see what,
wait, what?
When? What's up?
Spiritbreaker just pinged a gem. Where is it?
Somebody have it on their team?
So confused.
No, they don't have it. Did they?
Like, look, his last ping was Gem of True Sight dropped here. I don't see it on the
Oh.
courier. I don't see it on the base. I have no idea where that was.
Yeah, I don't know. Just kind of scouting through, but don't really see it. But we do see Roshan's up. And thinking about doing it? No. They're not going to do it just yet. I mean, there's no vision, obviously, from Prodota. You need to talk to with the Night Stalker and that. Oh, well, he had that gem. That's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he does. That's right. Yeah, where is the gem?
Yeah, Night Stalker's still... Yeah, his is gone right now, so I don't know where it is. I have no clue.
Interesting.
Because he ended up dying up in, like, that bounty rune area that Warlock described the bounty. But, yeah. Gems lost to the ages.
Lost forever.
So confusing. Like, my OCD is trying to make me find this.
Oh, what is this? Spearbreaker. Oh, he actually...
Weird.
That was weird. He is going to go with another strike on the Lifestealer right there. Chaotic Offering is put down, but Spearbreaker is going to get caught out. Now we see Batrider. He buys back and actually looking to port back in. He got Gostic trying to run away. The Sunstrike's not going to connect right there. The illusions, actually, of Juggernaut. Oh, I had the vision messed up. That's why. God, that's...
Okay.
I was so... Yeah, I had it set to the vision of Empire there because I was trying to look for stuff. I was wondering why it looked so funky.
Well, and did you see the movement on Batrider there? I guess if you're on Empire's vision, yeah, you should have with Caustic. Like, he got double force-staffed. He got forced deeper in by one of the Empire guys and forced himself back. And it ended up being this weird triangle shape where he ended up in the Roche pit just dead to rights.
Yeah. Not as planned, and that's going to be a Roshan kill no for Empire. And talk about biggest leads. Well, Empire will gain their biggest lead now of this game after what just happened there and picking up the Aegis to top it all off. And who got the Aegis? Would be FN on the Ember Spirit here. 5,000.
Might as well put it on the guy that's been bait all game.
Yeah, true. He's going to buy something big, too. The Abyssal Blade, obviously, on Lifestealer is huge. There's another gem purchase. This one for Warlock.
Yeah, he's going to pass it right over down to NS. Oh, the gem's sitting just outside of their fountain. Okay, I found it. It's now on Batrider. But yeah, they had it sitting like... You can't put gems in your base anymore. Like, in your fountain.
Okay.
So he had it just above the wall of the fountain. Oh, Empire's Team House Internet
Somebody's
just cut out.
landing.
Like,
well, everyone
it's a disaster.
everyone but Ember Spirit, apparently. I guess we need
I
pause.
guess we need pause.
Team gone. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well,
That's great.
hopefully that's nothing too serious here.
Oh,
That
I
is
wonder
a
where
fun
FN is that he's not playing with the team.
Yeah, how dare he?
Or maybe like all 4 of them are on one power strip and someone kicked it. I've definitely actually seen that happen in a game before.
Anyone that's been to any LAN of sorts. It's
I think it
probably
was
something.
one of Envy's games. Like maybe when he's on secret, like all but one person dropped, and it was like when Pilot Eye was on it. He's like, "Oops, Envy kicked the power cord or something."
Mm-hmm.
But looks like they are coming back already. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, what does PD need to do to get back in this game? It's gonna take. Oh, man. It's going to take somebody stopping Warlock from Chaotic Offering while at the same time lassoing Lifestealer. And that's a really tall order. Spirit Breaker, if you had the BKB done, would be a potential person to do it, because if the BKB's done, the only stop to his charge is Chaotic Offering. Or an Abyssal as he runs by, but that's insanely hard to do.
Yeah.
So if the BKB was done, I'd say that's a viable strategy for him. You find the Warlock, you just straight dive Nether Strike the Warlock, and then have everyone else just all in on Lifestealer, because he doesn't have the Aegis. He's most of their damage, but it's really hard unless this BKB gets done. I mean, I would even consider selling like the Urn and the Oov to try to do this if Empire tries to force the fight.
You just call it the Oov.
Or Venom, it's an Oov.
No one
You never
says
heard that before?
Oov.
Have you never heard that before?
I mean, people type it out, but it's just it's not. It doesn't ring like BKB.
Really, that sounds really awkward. Then again, no one says Black King Bar either.
Yeah, no. Juggernaut, he gets out top lane, so we are resumed, good to go once again. Needing that BKB. Speaking of that again, as you mentioned on Spirit Breaker, and he's farming it up here at the bottom lane. So. Currently.
Yeah, I want to give him farm priority here. This is the most important item on the team. No one else is super close to anything. Buyback on the Spirit Breaker is, I mean, sure it's important, but everyone else already has it. You're kind of alright all-inning if you have to. I guess Jugs is like 200 short of buyback, but... Yeah, this is going to be the team fight. Empire is going to look to push into the base here. They've swept the top side shrine already, so the tier 2 is going to fall uncontested. And yeah, PD is just like, we got to get this going. We need a little more farm before we take this fight. Jug wants his buyback, and Spirit Breaker wants the BKB.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They're just clearing out lanes here, both at the top and the middle lane. Obviously the bottom's taken care of with the Rax kill. They have. Invoker's already made his way back.
One of the benefits to the double forges, you can push out lanes a lot harder when you have 2 of them. So helping to offset some of that difference in the bot lane there. Man, Milan is so close. He needs like 500 gold.
He's not really farming at the bottom. In fact, Ember's coming in.
Whoa, Ember.
Oh, he's trying to make a play right here. Pops that Shivas, is going to find the Crystal Maiden. I don't know if he sees the Spirit Breaker. Doesn't look like it. Spirit Breaker's going to pour it out. So Crystal Maiden, hey, if that's a sacrificial land, that's fine. Oh, up here. Wow, that was somebody else. So it was
Yeah, Bat barely got out.
Makes his way out, though. So, yeah, again, minimal casualties at least.
It sucks to lose CM, but your lanes aren't in the worst positions. It's going to take too long for Empire to push in and get there in time to capitalize on that CM pick. And Spirit Breaker getting out there was massive. If they'd picked Spirit Breaker, the base is wide open. If you have to commit buyback on the Spirit Breaker, I think you just call the game almost over at this point. Like, he has no items yet, and he's finding it more and more difficult to get a good charge off between Boulder Smash and Searing Chains and every Night Stalker skill. His life's just hard. Maposhka's on the high ground, rolled onto the high ground there.
Trying to ward himself, basically.
Top tower
Sees Spirit Breaker run on by, but doesn't really make a play on it.
And Milan doesn't want to go either. He's 100 gold, man. 100 gold. This is like when a Bat Rider dies with like 20, 50 gold or something.
You have Darkness being used right here from the Night Stalker. Oh, Invoker! He pushed out right there. He pops the BKB, but the investment plate's done. And he could end up falling. Chaotic Offering to follow it up. And Kaiser is going to get picked off. No buyback. What was he thinking?
He had
Oh,
like
no.
5K and had an Octarine queued up, and I thought he was just going to buy the Soul Booster or something. Ends up committing to a full Sheepstick, and yeah, no buyback. What's left on the Aegis? Another one, two, so another like 50 seconds.
I guess they just didn't have vision, but that's even more reason to just not push out like that. I mean,
Yeah.
he maybe felt safe with the BKB, but obviously he wasn't. Abyssal Blade and the Chaotic Offering. Stunning through.
Yeah, Empire did commit like everything for it. May not feel super comfortable taking a fight without Chaotic Offering though. They don't care though.
I was going to say,
yep, they're ready to go.
with Invoker dead, you have to capitalize on this if you're Empire, it feels like. And they're going to try to right here. The pushback. Oh, okay. Almost helping Juggernaut there.
I think bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
bad.
Staff. Okay.
CM forced it. Okay.
Lifestealer, he's going to be pulled back with the lasso. He is actually dropping pretty quickly. That freezing field doing a lot of damage, and Lifestealer is going to get picked off, so maybe they should have been scared to push into this indeed. And the rest are going to try to run away. Miposhka, he's probably going to end up falling here. He goes
Aegis
down.
is down on FN. Just ticked out.
Oh, wow. He gets away. Yeah, that Aegis just got reclaimed as we heard. And he will fall back. So, well, okay, you were right, actually. Empire should have maybe been a little more scared.
Yeah, it was just a tad too aggressive. You had tempo. The Aegis was not at a good timing. Like, if they'd gone on FN too, he could have died instead of the Lifestealer, depending on who went in first there. So, just a little too aggressive from Empire. Just gotta calm down. And I think that'll be the wake-up call for King R to not use ult on a solo target. Just let the Invoker get out. He blew BKB. You blew almost nothing. And kind of go on with your life.
See up here, Carter. He's just picking up more farm even. Trying to finish that butterfly. Just not queued up for a little bit now, and that's going to be a pretty key item, actually, in this game. No MKB being made or going to be made at this point.
Bloodthorn is the queued up item on Lifestealer. And that will work. So they just got to get to that point. And this is what I love to see, when both teams are getting enough farm that they can play the counter game, where one person gets an item, and if the other person has enough gold, they can instantly buy the counter item. It gets to be a fun back and forth.
This is just game one, guys, of our best of three, our first of two best of threes coming at you. Got Prodota Empire here. The winner of this will qualify for the playoff stage. In these European qualifiers, so right now it's been a back and forth game of sorts. Empire has had the lead as of lately, but as you kind of see by the chart, it's once again dipping back more towards even, and it continues to be a case of this still is anyone's game. And the bottom racks was taken out a good 10-15 minutes ago right now by Empire, but definitely plenty of recovery. In fact, what did Invoker, okay, he's actually not level 25 yet. I almost expected him to be, but I assume he's going to get the Tornado cooldown. That kind of seems like the more go-to lately on Invokers over the AoE Deafening Blast.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what you need him for. He didn't go Blink, so I agree. It's going to be Tornado cooldown almost 100%. This wouldn't be a bad game at all to go AoE Deafening if he was used to playing the Blink build, though. You can just blink it in the middle of the team fight and pop it, put Lifestealer on one side and everyone else on the other. But they're not using him for an initiation. They're using him as like a backline damage source. So he's definitely going to take the Tornado CD, and that'll be a big help for him. Ghostic wants to hunt, though.
No, he'll be satisfied with some neutral creeps instead for now.
Octarine Night Stalker. Huh.
Is he going that? Yeah, he is, isn't he? Wow.
It's going to make it literally permanent. There will be like 10 seconds of daytime between every ult cooldown. Won't even have to worry about the day-night cycle.
Well, that's kind of a nice reason to get it then.
Yeah, just
make sure he's buffed
it
up.
could be a Sheepstick. Could be an Abyssal Blade. I mean, it's fine. I think. Wow. Okay. Milan charging deep here.
He is going really deep, but not going to commit to it, and that's probably the safer play.
Yeah, and Empire saw it. It was within Ghostic's range.
Oh, they're looking to return. They're going to find the Spirit Breaker actually. Barrel roll in. There's the Infest Bomb on top. He's going to pop out at least a dead Spirit Breaker. Will it be more? He does have a buyback. Dead for 50 seconds, though. Double damage up here, and they're going to spot it. Yeah, they definitely know it's here. Oh, the
and
Force
it's gone.
Spirit destroys it. Well played there by Invoker.
Yeah, he's been very good about keeping a Forge in the pit the entire time.
Very well played. Obviously, Roshan not up just yet. He's going to respond in just over a minute here. Seems like Empire, that's exactly what they're going to wait for, though. So not really able to capitalize too much off of the Spirit Breaker kill, other than getting very close now to that pickup here of Lifestealer, a Bloodthorn. 6,000
Yeah,
gold.
it's gonna so expensive though. The most expensive item in Dota, with one of the biggest returns. I mean that silence is insane. If you can't break that, you just die.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. Okay.
Switch to an MKB instead.
Just says, you know what, I want an MKB.
Switch to a no buyback MKB. So a little bit of danger. The nice luxury part for Empire here is they have no reason they have to ever go. They're not being pressured. There's no aggression coming out from PD. And so they feel pretty safe just to grab that in case a fight does kind of break out. But Lifestealer can still just keep farming until he gets to the buyback point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he already is there. He sold the Midas on the courier.
All right, so that's that good to go. So yeah, that's not a
Milan,
concern anymore.
Another Brave charge. This time on a solo Earth Spirit.
No, he canceled.
And there's Ghost Stick's going to be close by, but not right on top. This is what a Night Stalker does to you, though. Look how constricted PD feels. They literally can't see anything past their creep waves. Roche is up. This will be the cheese. So no more Chappie going in. I would imagine you give it to Chappie at this point.
Not making it over just yet as far as Vision goes. Again, it continues to be not really much for Prodota. They do have that Force Spirit inside there. Continues to do a good job of that. Earth Spirit has the Infest Bomb inside him. Doesn't look like they're going to commit to a Roshan kill necessarily. They still want to find at least a kill, it almost feels like, before they go for it. But they're going to see it now. And there's a Sunstrike to scout it out. But the Force Spirit no longer in here, so the Vision is now blank here for Prodota. And they're kind of just playing the guessing game, but it is happening now. And
yeah,
they're not
it
gonna
should be gone before Prodota even gets there.
Yeah, this is going to be a fairly quicker kill. Easier one even. And Ember got it last time.
Yep. Did they get the charge off of it? Okay. It's actually kind of hard to get a charge off on a Sunstrike. The vision doesn't last very long. But yeah, Milan doesn't want to commit. He noticed how low the rush was, pieced out of that one. Will be Chappie grabbing the Aegis. And she's sitting on him as well, but that'll get passed over.
There we go. And the Octarine again, finish on Night Stalker. He pops the Darkness, as you said. It's a 10-second window now, essentially, between day and back to nighttime.
Not so fast.
Lifestealer level 25. Toast get the 15 armor right here. Ember Spirit, 20% cooldown reduction. On the other side, Juggernaut, 20 agility.
Radiant's
and then
middle
Invoker,
tower
he's
is
still...
under
Oh,
attack.
God, I didn't be surprised by that, actually. I figured he'd be the one level 25. If anything, but... Nice. Almost 24 here.
Radiant's middle
Still doesn't
tower
have that
is under
25
Yeah.
like the others.
He's just been stuck in his base. It makes it really hard.
Well, Chappie,
Radiant's top
with that
tower is
Aegis,
under attack.
he's on the tower a little bit, but they're not going to overcommit. Going to reset for another creep edge. So they're going to do this the slow way here.
Mm-hmm.
Be very patient with it. You see the Lotus Orbs and the Lincoln Sphere being applied to him constantly. So this is a very protected, and that with the Rage. And Mjolnir, God, this guy's buffed up, man.
I literally, like every creep wave, I'm just hitting F2 and flipping back to just Radiant Vision. It just looks so terrifying.
Yeah,
You don't see
this
anyone.
wall of
All you
death.
see is Chappie with just a ton of buffs on him.
Chappie is going to jump inside. Out comes the chaotic offering. They will lock down Juggernaut long enough for the kill, most likely. Oh, he barely escapes. The science is on him. He will stay alive in the long run. The Shivas goes off. Lotus Orb on the Lifesteal, though, still protecting him quite a bit. The Link has just got popped by something. Milan going in. The lasso on top of that. This could be a chance to kill the Lifesteal again. He has the Aegis. They're dragging him pretty deep, though. The Meteor to cut off the supporting cast. The Omni Slash on top. And Chappie is going to end up going down. No, he passes the creep wave at the last second, but the Scythe used on him and will secure the kill. So far, that is the only death He is coming back up now. Now here's the respawn, and Poshka jumps in, magnetizes applied. The spin on top, but they lose one in Spirit Breaker. He buys back immediately. Lifestealer, though, he's standing his ground, and Chappie goes right back for the racks right here. It's an epic fight to finish things off potentially right here as the man of the racks will fall, but there's a lockdown on Juggernaut. He's going to go down. He'll probably buy back pretty quickly, as he does right there. Milan, though, he's going to stay dead this time, and that was a dieback for him. The range racks now, it's going to be falling. Empire, everyone stays alive, and they get the racks as they came for. Gardner decides to go back in. That's going to be a dieback if he does die here, so has to be careful, and they will finally retreat.
Yeah, they just had to use way too much to bring down Chappie the first time. You committed Omni Slash, you committed Hex. It was just all of your resources, so once Chappie res, they just didn't have anything left.
That was a hell of a fight. I mean, only 3 deaths in total. Or I guess technically 4 if you count the dieback there on the Spirit Breaker. But in the end, the objective's taken, of course, by Empire. And now this lead, as we talk about throughout this game, it's still anyone's game, not so much anymore. This is Empire, and they're going to need some mistakes if they want to not win this game, that is. And, well, I don't think that's going to be happening the way that they're playing right now. So.
Oh, no. You lasted the Lincolns.
Uh-oh. That's tough. I mean, it's such a dire spot. He did a good job of getting that off initially last time. But yeah, this time, last is the Lincolns, unfortunately. They're going to catch him with a Scythe here, however, and he will stay dead now. So they do have enough damage ultimately to get the kill. Crystal Maiden's picked up in the backlines. Warlock, he's going to end up falling too. So here's the chase out now. Coming out from Prodota. FN, he TP's away. Lifestealer, of course, has a buyback worst case here, but...
Yeah, PD has to force it here. The problem is their lanes are in such bad positions. You probably have to buy back CM just to hold your base.
It is a level 25 Invoker now, by the way, and he did choose to get the Tornado talent there, as we expected. So has that now to benefit from, as, what is that about? That's Ember Spirit, kind of toying with him a little bit. In the background, he has bots level 2 now.
Yeah, and a ton of CDR.
Yeah, he's using that Sleight of Fist very frequently here. What was that, 3.6 seconds? Jeez.
Yeah, he took 20% CDR talent as well as the Octarine. And Lifestealer's talent tree just looks so nice. Yeah. Ooh, Milan, BKB and out. No, Lifestealer's just took all the right side talents.
Just so smooth. Always go to the right. Yeah, that's kind of interesting because you look at the earlier ones, that's definitely a lot more for survivability. In fact, all throughout, basically. It's just about surviving.
Yep, definitely took the more defensive ones. The 15 armor is a little interesting. It definitely helps in the man fight against Jug. But the rage duration is super good against Invoker. So, must have found what he thought was the real threat and went that route. And Warlock got to a refresher orb. Like the welfare hard 5 Warlock now has a massive item that he then decided to sell right away. Yeah, okay. He wants an Ags instead.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually kind of interesting because it's like, do you want a second stun basically, or do you just want the second Warlock in the midst of that fight, or the Golem even?
I want a second stun.
Doing that. That's what I'm thinking with the logic.
Because it lets you get the kill like they did on Invoker and still have one for the team fight. But then again, they could, buy whatever they want, spend your gold. No, doesn't really matter.
It's not like there's a wrong choice there. It's just
it's a 30,000 net worth lead.
Well, here comes the last stand, you could say, for Prodota. Obviously, no buyback on Juggernaut for another 3 minutes. There's the jump right off the bat, locking down the Juggernaut. He is going to get silenced, but he'll be fine. The double Golems are out due to the Axe. They got Invoker bursted down, but he buys back immediately, so now he's in the case of no buyback.
And if Empire wants to keep showing your strength, this is where you back up and wait for Rock again. You got the buyback. It was nice, but we saw what can happen if they take a fight without Rock.
Well, they got 2 now.
There are 2. This is true. And they're big. Look how tall those things are.
Pretty massive here. Definitely a scary target to be fighting into. Oh, that was the wrong time to do that. Anyways, the charge in. I heard it going out from Milan right there. Caught her in the backline, just trying to kill off the chaotic offerings. Meanwhile, Spirit Breaker, he's basically paying a distraction. He will go down. No buyback to be had on him. Lifestealer is caught this time by the lasso, pulling him back into the base. The freezing field on top of that is going to be sized out though by the Void. And now Chappie standing his ground, gets to go to Crystal Maiden. Garden going at it, but the Abyssal Blade stun procs. He uses the Abyssal Blade right there on top of that. And Juggernaut, he's going to stay dead for 120 seconds. Crystal Maiden does come back in, but they lose their core. GG's are called. Invoker, he might even get picked off, but called it GG before. No, he does go down, but it doesn't matter. Empire wins it, and they're up 1-0 now here in this best of 3.
Wow. I mean, yeah, we had some really long slow points in that game, but really well played from Empire overall. The only big misstep was trying to fight without Rock in the mid lane, but very clean game from them overall, and definitely looking good going into game 2 here.
Yeah. That they do, and again on the verge of now making the playoffs, like we keep going back to for this event here, where then the winner of that will move on to the Summit 7, and Empire can taste it, I'm sure, but this is definitely proven to be a good team as of late in Prodota, and even in that first game right there, again, having the leads earlier on, just simply could not hold on to it. And I do got to say, you know, Night Stalker, this is, again, one for personally me, one of the first games that's, all right, Night Stalker, definitely someone to be scared of. I mean, boys know with that axe effect, especially later on, that vision control is very key, no doubt. So, had impact there.
Yeah,
sure.
You've talked about the subtle things that are hard to see a tangible benefit from. Night Stalker is that in spades. So much of what he does is hard to notice on a glance and hard for just a casual observer to see. But that was the perfect example of what he can do over the course of a very long game.
Yeah. Well, guys, game number 2 is going to be coming up here, Prodota versus Empire. Stay tuned on Bricky CPK, joined by Z-Rock here. We're coming right back with the Summit 7 European Qualifier coverage.